Hi everyone, it's Danielle and today's day 52 of my 100-day video blog. I hope you're having a nice weekend. I read an article earlier today that my friend Adam posted online, and Adam's really fascinating. I know him from my career in online advertising, and he has taken a massive step back and spends half of his year living in Thailand, and then he comes back and does contract work for the rest of the 6 months and bounces back and forth. But the article really talks about how we only have one life, and if you think about the fact that we all ultimately will die, which is such a morbid way to think, but it's not. We are on limited time here. So instead of spending your whole life sitting behind a cubicle or a desk and waiting for the shoe to drop, or wait for your 2 weeks of vacation and then you could retire, and then at that point think that you're going to be jet setting around the world and have enough money to do so, is actually a really insane way to go through life. When in actuality, what we have is today. I mean, are you doing the things that you want to be doing? Are you living the way that you want to be living? Are you loving the people that you love spending time with and who love you? It's a really interesting and heavy proposition to ponder. So I remember years ago when I was really having a lot of stress in my life, and I was at a very low point. I was in an extraordinarily unhappy marriage that was pretty much over. It was over for a long time because we just weren't connected. We weren't communicating. We weren't connecting. We were living two entirely different lives as friends, I guess, but not in love or on the same page or heading in the same direction. My career, I was very stressed out, and I had been doing it for a very long time, and I was traveling around the world, and I'm a mom of 2 young kids, so I was also feeling really torn between that, and I wasn't seeing my kids, and my relationships there were suffering. So at the time, my mother-in-law was suffering from cancer, and she ultimately did pass away. So it was a blessing. I was laid off from my career because I was able to spend time with her and to be of service with her, and to really have amazing one-on-one interpersonal time, because she and I were very close. But I had so many different factors stacked against my life that I finally said, that's it. I can't continue to live my life this way. Life is too short. I need to make significant changes. So it was an awakening, if you will, when people say they've had an awakening. But I also reached my absolute rock bottom, and I could not live another day under the circumstances without making positive actions towards change across the board. So I reached a low. I don't necessarily think that people need to reach such a significant low, but I also think that sometimes at the lowest points of your life, it makes you realize what you really want and what's really important. So the article really resonated with me. It brought me right back to that time in my life, and I think about how different my life is now, years later. I'm now divorced. I've left my career, and I've started a brand new career path. I've opened a shop as an entrepreneur, and I'm still doing coaching. I'm now a Reiki master, which is dedicated to healing other people that have suffered burnout, because I was burned out. And I think there have been significant positive changes to my life, but that hasn't come without struggle, and there was significant fear. And the article talked about how, don't let fear hold you back. And don't let what society thinks about, like, oh, you need the accumulation of material wealth and you need a safety of a paycheck. Like, yeah, you need to figure out how to pay your bills. So you better have a plan as to how to do that. But there's more than one way to accomplish that. That you don't have to stay in a single job that you hate. You can find other things that you enjoy and that invigorate you. You can spend time with people that you really truly enjoy and that bring you to life instead of suck the life out of you. And really foster positive relationships with people that you spend time with, because life is too short. There are young people I know who have been in accidents and their life has ended like that. And then there are people that are absolutely miserable that live until they're past 100 and they have regrets and they say, I wish I did things differently. I remember sleeping with my head on the pillow and I could not do it one more night. And I said, this is it, I'm done. I can't do this another day. And there's a song by the Cranberries called Daffodil Lament that really just hit home. And it's like, I can't sleep here. I can't sleep here. And that, then the song goes into a cadence and it's very happy. And she found what she was supposed to be doing. So that song is really, really important to me. And it signifies a lot of my journey. And I still have a very, very long way to go. But I just think if you are doing something or not doing something in your life and you feel called to do it, like, don't delay. Don't let fear hold you back. Go for it. Because you only have one shot at this. And if you don't do it, you don't want to have regret. Because I remember saying, if I don't do this now, if I don't go for it, if I don't try to open this shop and give it my all, then I'm always going to live with regret and say, well, what if? What if I tried it? I could have had this life. I could have done whatever. If I didn't go for it, I can't live the rest of my life with regret. I own my mistakes, but then I own my choices too. And I think if you really want changes in your life, you have to be willing to go for it and to take action, because nobody's going to come up to your doorstep and say, hey, you know what? I think that you might want this. Here, let me hand it to you on a silver platter. It's never going to happen. If you want love, nobody's going to come into your couch and say, sorry. Nobody's going to come into your couch in your living room and say, hey, I see you sitting on your couch in fetal position and you're crying, getting choked up, watching that sitcom television show, wishing that you met the right person, but yet you're doing nothing to find somebody. Like, nobody's going to do it. Nobody's going to do it if you don't take action. And I have a friend that's a hospice nurse, and she goes, you know, the material things don't matter. Did you do the things you want? Did you spend time with people that you love? Were you kind? Enough with all, like, who cares what people think? Do what makes your heart feel alive and be a good human being, and do what makes you happy and spend time with the people that make you happy. You don't need millions and billions. You need enough to have a good life. You can sleep at night. I know I can sleep at night knowing that I'm doing my best. And I still get stressed, but at least I know that I am not selling my soul to make a buck, to pay for a stupid house that is too big, just for material accumulation, for what other people think. Like, I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I've had it. I've had all the material stuff. It doesn't matter. If your heart is not happy, if your soul is yearning for more, do it. We only get one shot. Good night.